Yo everyone, today I'm going to teach you how to master Qatar on F1 2025. First of all, by going through a low speed lap, analysing every corner around this track. Then how would I adjust the time trial world record setup to be usable in an online race. Finishing off the video with a full speed qualifying lap example on how I would also use my ERS strategy. So, first of all, when you're coming down the pitch straight, you really want to have two wheels as far over this sort of purple, pinkish paint as you possibly can. The reason for that is the off-circuit on F1 2025 is smoother than actually driving on a normal part of the track, so you'll gain a few just thousandths of a second down the pitch straight, which is just worth having, to be honest, because you don't have to do anything for it, so it's completely free. Going into turn 1 though, you'll be braking just after the 50-meter board, quite literally 50-45 meters before the corner, and then you'll be going down either to 4th gear or 5th gear, depending on your preference. If your car is really oversteering and very unstable, then I recommend in 5th gear to help the stability, but if you have more confidence and you want more rotation for the car, you can go down into 4th. There are also two approaches through turn 1. You can have two wheels on the inside orange part of the track, what will make the car sort of slip around a little bit more, or go around the orange part of the track and will bring a bit more stability. Again, depends on the way that you want to go about it with the car setup. Open up the corner as much as possible and bring the car over to the right hand side. Through the left-hander, again, depending on the ride height you have on the car. If you have quite a high ride height, then you can go over this inside onto the orange part of the track. But if you have a lower ride height of the car, then you can only go two wheels on the inside curbing. Back on the throttle and open up the road as much as possible on the exit here. Flat out through the right-hander, minimize the distance by going over the inside curbing. Now you approach what could be some of the most difficult corners on this track, especially for track limit management. This first corner is literally just a lift of the throttle, and then you'll be taking this sort of in the 5th, 6th gear range. Again, depends on the confidence that you have. The higher gear that you can take through here, the better speed that you'll carry, and you're basically looking now to have two wheels as far on the inside as possible, right up to the limit of the white line, opening up the track on the exit here to be right at the white line again. This is a theme around this track, just to be as close to the white lines as possible to maximize your track usage. Through the right-hander here though is where it gets very difficult, because the front left tyre is going to start overheating on the surface especially, and it's quite easy to slightly bottom out with going over this inside curbing. But to take this corner flat out, you pretty much do have to be on the inside curbing, and you're going to be scrubbing that front left tyre when you're going through the corner. So it's not easy to take this corner flat out, but just about possible if you're on the limit of the wing level to go as low as possible, of course, to get higher top speed down the straights. If you're going maximum wing level, then of course it's going to be a bit easier to do as well. Pull the car to the right hand side, two wheels over on the blue part and braking at the 50-meter board, going down into 3rd gear here. Very easy to lose the rear axle as you go into the apex, because again, the tyres are going to be so hot on the surface temperature especially, that they've just gone through so many high-speed corners so quickly and with such little time to cool down on that little straight between the two corners, that it's very easy for the car to slide around. I like to get two wheels on the inside curbing here, and if I get it absolutely perfect, I go a little bit on the blue as well, and then open up the corner on the exit, and be aware the traction can be really poor here, so it's quite easy for the car to be slip and sliding around. Going into the following right-hander, going down into 4th gear, and I like to try and get the car as much on the blue on the inside as I possibly can. The reason for this is it means I have better track usage going through this next right-hander, compared to if I'm all the way out here. It's just not as good track usage, and it allows me to get my car straighter on the exit here, because the exit is really curved, it's really difficult. As you can see, it's not a straight line here, and basically the track is almost coming back towards you, so if you can get the car straighter earlier, then you can have a better position to get on the throttle and manage your ability to do a risk equation with the track limits on the exit. Of course, trying to keep at least one tyre within the white line. Keeping the car to the left-hand side to open up the following right-hander as much as possible, easily flat out in a qualifying situation, and you're focusing to keep the car to the right-hand side to open up the next left. There is not really a braking reference marker here, but it is so difficult to get this braking perfect because the rear of the car can be sliding around a lot. So yeah, you're going to be braking about a car length and a half before that sort of blue indicator just here underneath the car right now, and then you're going to be trying to take as much curbing on the inside as possible. The corner has a lot of bumps. There's a lot of bumps on this corner right now, on this game. Actually, it was on the previous games as well. So the car will sort of bump around, have a lot of traction instability. So watch out for that. Be careful on the power right now. Then open up the exit as much as you possibly can. A little bit of a tricky sneak sort of thing that you can do right now. Instead of driving on a normal part of the track, you can put two wheels on the inside curbing, and basically that just helps avoid a few of the bumps, what can cause friction with the floor of the car down that straight. Now open up the corner as much as possible over the inside curbing here in 7th gear, easily flat out. Open up the corner, easily flat out again. And why it's important to be over the inside curbing here is it just means that you can travel less distance. You will bottom out a little bit on the curbing, but you gain more lap time from traveling less distance than you do from going around the curbing. Easily flat out again through here, and then coming up to the next left-hander, easily flat out once again. And you're just looking to get as far to the inside as possible, because again, there are quite a lot of bumps on this corner, and the further you can get to the inside, the more that you're going to avoid them basically. So you have to take a risk with the track limits to be absolutely on the limit around that corner. Very true around this circuit in general anyway. Into the final apex of the lap here, you'll be braking at the 50-meter board and going down into 4th gear. Two wheels on the outside curbing here because it just opens up the corner a little bit more, and then you're trying to attack this inside curbing, and in a perfect world you do get two wheels over the inside here because again it just helps you minimize the distance around the corner and then opens up the exit that little bit more. The rear tire is going to be screaming from overheating the surface right now, so just watch the traction as you get back on the power. Keep the car in a straight line, and then again, if you can have the presence of mind to get over to the left hand side, then definitely do it, as traveling on the painted surface has less friction to the floor because it's smoother, as I talked about at the start of the lap. And then this is your lap here in Qatar F1 2025. Now going into the setup right now, and this is very very aggressive of a setup, if I do say so myself. Just loading it right now, you can see 42, 30, 25 on the rear off-throttle differential, 41.3, 116, 1945, and then yeah, the tire pressures look pretty good, and then the rest of the setup is there or thereabouts, you know, something that you could drive with. But this is really a big time trial setup, so I would recommend just going as high as you would want to go on that rear wing angle to bring stability back to the car, because the car can be manageable in time trial while tire wear and tire temperature are turned off. But as soon as you need that sort of stability from the rear to manage the rear deg on the temperature and actual wear percentage, then you need more rear wing angle. So I would recommend probably the baseline going like 38 maybe, could be good. And then I would also recommend just going higher if you do want the stability from the car. So with that being said, that is sort of an advice on the setup that I can give you, and let's head over to the full speed qualifying lap example. How to master Qatar on F1 2025. Out of the final corner, once you get up to 6th gear, engage the overtake button and burn all the way down until 70%. Turn 1, brake just at the 50-meter board and then down into 4th gear. Let the car rotate and use up all the road on the exit. Up to 6th and down to 5th. Kiss the curbing on the inside and maximize your power delivery on the exit. Burning the battery down until 60%. Full commitment is needed through this fast right hand, as just hitting the throttle and getting as close to that white line as you dare. Open up the hairpin down into 3rd gear. Very careful on the throttle here. Traction is limited as you burn the battery down until 58%. Use the blue on the inside to open up the corner and maximize the power on the exit, burning the battery down until 60%. Absolute focus on the exit speed here. The track is incredibly bumpy in the middle of the corner, so easy to have snap oversteer, as now you're burning the battery all the way down until 40%, flat out all the way through these high speed corners, just looking to minimize your distance as you do so. up through the left-hander now and burning the battery down until 13% here on the exit as you now approach the final corner of the lap, and just looking to squirrel the traction on the exit as the overheating tires are just hanging on for dear life, delivering grip what they can do. So there we go. That's how to master Qatar on F1 2025. We've done a 120.061 here today. So I've been Brendon Leigh. Thank you so much for watching. Unfortunately, I forgot to record the sector times for this lap here today. So yeah, my apologies for that. We only have the raw lap time available for this video, but I'll try my best to improve it for next time and make sure to remember to record the sector time. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Grazie ragazzi. Ciao ciao. Bye bye.